Good morning, my beautiful collective. I hope you're having a wonderful day. What's up, collective? You can ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, collective. How you doing? Let's get into this. Ooh, God protects me and God fights my battles. No weapon formed in spirit or physical against me shall prosper. I'm highly favored and protected from all evil, as is my beautiful collective. Collective, what is the energy for you today? What's going on with my collective? What's going on with my collective? Collective. I'm going to use this as the basis of the Celtic, guys. Let's see what's up. Ace of Wands. This is good. This is good. I'm getting like growth. Planting the tree as a sapling and watching it grow. Some of you long-term investments starting to come to fruition. You're starting to see some actual growth, right? You know, when you plant a tree from a little seedling, little sapling, any of you that get trees at Earth Day and they give you a little start and it ain't too big, right? But, you know, after a few years, it gets going. And eventually, it starts to bear fruit. So some of you all, you're going to start seeing what you planted bearing fruit. Yeah, even in the middle of winter, up here in the northern hemisphere. That is beautiful. Bottom of the deck, the Hangman. You're going to look at things a little different. You got a different perspective. You're holding on to things. And some of you, this is understanding that sometimes things take time to mature, right? Investing. Slowly but surely, it adds up, right? If you get into the habit of putting 20 bucks away each week, just into an account, you don't touch it. After a while, that's going to add up, right? What is that, 1,040 at the end of the year? So it's all good. And I noticed 52, guys, on the phone when I got done singing. So, you know, 52 weeks in a year. A lot of you, things finally paying off. It takes time, though. Right? That sapling takes a little while to really get its footing, get its roots going, to really establish itself, and then it starts to flourish. Then you notice all them little things coming off. That's it finally bearing fruit, right? It's harvest season. But yeah, you had to wait a while. You had to plan ahead, right? You plant a tree, you got to think about where you're going to put it long term. How big is it going to get? Is it going to block the sun? Is it going to, throw shade on a side of the house you don't want? Is it going to be too big for one area? Really logical thinking and thinking outside the box. A lot of you, this is long-term thinking as well. Long-term thinking that pays off. Spirit has a wonderful way when you just trust your gut, your guidance, and your intuition of paying off. Long-term investment. Okay? In every area of your life. You stick with a job because, you know, you kind of like it. It's easy for you to get to. It's something easy for you to do. And you're hoping that eventually you can move up or get a better opportunity. Some of you could be seeing promotions coming in or upgrades in the work, maybe pay raises. A lot of you, the things you've done over the past year coming to fruition, the positive things. We know enough about the negative energy. This is the good things that you've invested in, that you wisely thought about, right? The Four of Pentacles is holding on and, postponing doing things because you're thinking about the future. You're looking at things a little differently, right? You're not just rushing out and maybe buying everything that you want or see because, maybe there's a bigger item that you want or you could use that down the road. Everyone should have a little bit saved up just in case you need it, right? Because you never fucking know. Opportunity. Things starting to bear fruit. Because here's the victory card. 6 of Wands with the 7 of Wands. Of course, anytime you have little victories, you always got to kind of defend it, right? You always got to be a little protective of it. Some of you, it's meeting them little goals that you had. And then you're like, oh, wow. And then once you get it established, once you get that routine established and you keep continually doing it, you want to protect it and always make sure that you do that. And you don't want to dip into it unnecessarily, right? It's like the energy of a safety net, some kind of security net, something that you've been working on that you're really proud of. Maybe it's just an accomplishment. You've been consistently doing something, put forth the effort in something, and you're starting to see the results. Anyone that exercises, right? The more you exercise, watch what you eat, you slowly start seeing the weight coming off. It doesn't happen overnight, right? You can go 2-3 weeks and maybe only lose a couple of pounds, but the more consistent you get at it, then the more you see the results. And then you want to keep it up. And then you're going to want to keep that positive energy going. That feels like just keeping that positive energy going. That's the difference between wanting to eat half a fucking pizza and only deciding maybe 1 or 2 slices, right? And y'all, I'm a firm believer when you're dieting, don't try to restrict everything, because it's hard enough to stick to a diet. Just kind of allow for like the cheat days. I like to do kind of 3 where you really watch your diet 3 days and then have a cheat day in between. That way you don't feel like you're starving yourself or you're missing out on something, right? There's ways you can have your victory, you can have your results, but still, not derail the train in the process. You know what I mean? There are ways to do it. And the long-term effects of what you've done. For a lot of you, it's starting to bear fruit. You're starting to see the results. You're starting to see growth, right? When you plant a sapling, it's going to take a few years for you can actually freaking really do anything, right? You're not going to plant a little 6-inch sapling and the next year hang a bunch of Christmas lights on it, right? It's long-term growth. It's thinking long-term. You got to let them roots get set firmly in. And then you can start to see the magic happen up on top. A lot of you, probably in your money, wise investments, thinking for the future, saving for the future, right? We've all kind of got a wake-up call with the way the past 2 years have been. Security's been kind of, financial security has kind of run people amok. So a lot of people have started, just being wiser. Just being wiser. Some by choice, some because there was no fucking choice, right? But you can either make it a positive or you can make your life unbearable. It's all in how you look at it. You chose to try something new. There's you with that sapling. You're looking, you're thinking, where am I going to put it? You're thinking outside the box with this world energy here. And now you're doing it. This is like you driving to the bank, putting your money in that little account, watching it grow. Little by little. Some of y'all is putting forth time and effort to meet somebody. Now, and you do that, folks, by the more love you give yourself, by what you do for yourself. It ain't about what you do for other people. The more you love yourself, the more you have a life that you love, the more you live the life that you have, you call in the right person who's doing the same thing. Yeah, sometimes you can call in the wrong energies, but, a lot of you know what the hell it's all about now. You know what it's all about now. A lot of you, it's about investing in you. It's what you do for you. You have to be given to yourself. You have to keep yourself good. You have to keep yourself balanced out. You have to keep your state of mind positive, right? A lot of you got to stay good and healthy and in a good mood because you got other people dependent upon you. Your babies, your fur babies, people at work. That's beautiful energy, collective. That is a beautiful energy. So we're starting, let's find that Ace of Wands. For a lot of you, if you haven't gotten to this energy yet, it's probably something you've been thinking about. Looking into different ways you can cut back, different things you can do around the house to save money and kind of put a little bit back, right? Have your little coin jar, save your change. That's always a good place to start, right? So this Ace of Wands energy, what's covering this Ace of Wands? Temperance. You're learning to temper yourself. You're learning to nurture that tree. Take care of it and watch it grow. But it's a slow process, okay? It's a slow process. Shit don't happen overnight, right? You gotta watch, and be patient. If it comes too easily, if there are too many things that, it's like you could put a shit ton of Miracle Grow on that, and it might help a little bit, but sometimes it's just time. Time, and patience. You can't plant an orchard one year and expect to reap results the next, right? It could take 2 to 3 years for them trees start bearing fruit. Sometimes longer. I finally had one of my apple trees that started producing this year. I got more apples off of it. God, 4 or 5 years? That's beautiful energy, collective. King of Cups, you know how to nurture it. You take the time to nurture it. You put forth the time and effort. This is like you having that schedule where you continually do the same thing on a regular basis. You make it a part of your routine. So that way you're not going to veer from it. You know what I mean? You're consistent. You're consistent with the watering. You're consistent with your time and energy and effort that you put towards it. The Nine of Cups, because at the end of the day, you know what you want. The Nine of Cups is about that vision that you have. Let's say you just want to have enough in the bank so you ain't got to worry. You can weather rainy days. And maybe you've come through a time where you've had that issue. So now you're just trying to get your stability, get your footing. For a lot of you, get your foot in the door in certain areas, right? Expanding your horizons. Maybe it's schooling. Maybe it's looking for another job. Maybe you picked up a couple side jobs just to have a little extra security. Four of Cups. You know what this feels like, you know what you can't afford, I gotta tell you. You're like, I don't need that, thanks. Some of y'all, maybe you're choosing not to go out. You're spending more time at home. Maybe, you stopped dating because you didn't want to spend the money. This feels more like someone who's just really trying to get their security and stability going, right? Their financial. With the Cups energy here, this is definitely love. Think of your love as like money, okay? The amount of time and effort you give somebody, right? If those were billable hours, how much would you charge them for your time? And no, we're not talking about being a whore. I'm talking about, the time that you spend with them. The amount of emotional currency that they take from you. A lot of you are realizing you wasted it, right? Far better to give that to yourself and put it towards something that's more substantial for you than to just, throw that shit around like it's free. Seven of Swords. This is you taking the knowledge that you know, right? You're taking the knowledge that you know. See, he left 2 swords. Maybe he's going to sell them other 5 swords on eBay. You're like, I don't need 5 of these. I'm happy with 2, so you're downsizing. This feels like you're downsizing, you're cleaning house. And as you get one area of your life together, the other areas are naturally going to follow. You're going to simplify things. You're going to kind of spread it all around every area of your life, right? You're going to choose who gets your time and energy. You're going to choose what gets your money. You're going to choose what you give to, the amount of time and effort you give to it, right? This is beautiful. Some of you, it's money. But if you look at your love, your time invested in a partner, your time invested in dating and different things like that didn't work out, right? You're like, damn, if I had that time back, if I put that much time and attention in myself, where the hell would I be? You'd have something more stable and steady in your life. 7 of Swords with the Justice. Things balancing out. What's on the other side of this Justice card? The Emperor. What? Well, and the Moon. Three of Cups. Some of you need to pay attention, okay? Work, love, life on this. We got this Three of Cups, this Moon card, the Emperor, and the Justice card. Some of you need to pay attention to who you're telling your business to and who the hell knows what's up. Because it almost feels like someone here could be trying to sneak away with something that isn't theirs. Right? Someone's trying to sneak away with something that isn't theirs. Here's this Three of Cups. So this is other people's involvement in something. Something going on behind the scenes. And here's an Emperor. But here's the Justice card with that Seven of Swords. But you see, the swords are on the side that the Justice is holding up. So it's like you're going to be walking away with something. If someone was trying to do something behind your back, you're the one that's going to win out at the end of the day. Because, you know, any gift of metal from the universe is a positive sign, right? You find any type of currency, coin on the ground, any type of metal. Some of you might have find rings or earrings or necklaces or different things like that, right? Any gift of metal from the universe is usually a good sign. But some of you, you got to watch what the hell's going on. Some of y'all, this could be involving work with the Emperor there. Be very mindful. A lot of you, keep what you do to yourself. Keep what you do quiet. Don't let everyone know what the fuck you got going on. Because it's, as others gain, others could be jealous. For some of you, even when it comes to your love life, right? Then Three of Cups, don't let everybody know what you got going on. Don't let everybody know who you like. Don't let everybody know who the fuck you dating, right? You want to have at least one person that knows who the hell a person is in case they turn out to be a bit fucking crazy, right? But you don't need to let everybody know your business. Don't post the shit. Don't let everybody know. Because some of y'all could be having an Emperor energy that's watching. Some of y'all could be having an Emperor energy that's having other people watch, right? You all know your situation here. Whatever the fuck's going on, though, and this is future energy, that Justice is, you're walking away from that with 5 swords. So if anyone tried to do anything, you're going to get back what the fuck they took. You're the one that wins. You get the gift of metal at the end of the day from the universe. I don't think this is an energy you got to really be afraid of or aware of. Because a lot of you already know who you can't trust and all that shit. We've been down that road. You know the motherfuckers you can't trust. You know the ones that you need to keep at a distance. The ones you've already probably erased or released from your life, right? You took their numbers off your phone. You don't give 2 fucks. You're focusing on you. And a lot of you, this is that long-term investment. This is the things you planted. Finally coming to fruition. And yeah, when it's time to eat, there's a lot of motherfuckers want to sit at your table and eat for free, right? Nope. Remember, you're frugal as fuck. You're like, no, I'll drink water. I ain't going to pay for something to drink. You fill your own cup, right? Maybe some of you just recycle your water bottles a couple times instead of buying new. Got your Brita and you drink tap. This Cups energy is love, but I think it's the emotional. You're seeing how it all kind of correlates. You know, when you start doing healing work, anytime you start kind of upgrading your life, even if you start dieting, it's going to change everything about how you grocery shop, how you eat. So you're going to be paying more attention to a lot of things. And as you start focusing on that and you start seeing little victories, you're going to put other things like that kind of in place in the rest of your life. You're going to figure out, okay, if you go on a diet, then you're not going to be spending money on lunch, right? You're not going to be wasting. That could be $10 a day. So maybe you decide to set that money aside, right? I don't know how many articles I've read where when you quit smoking, just, pay the whatever you'd pay to buy a pack of cigarettes and throw it in a jar or something. And then, see what you got at the end of the day. The little tips and tricks like that, they're all over the internet. You can find different things that work. But you will find that as soon as you start cleaning up one area of your life and you start seeing them successes, you're able to implement that into other areas. A lot of you, financially, right? Getting your finances together. As you start losing weight, as you start focusing on you and you realize you don't need to spend all that money, well, then naturally you're just going to have more money in there. And you're like, well, fuck. That makes a difference, doesn't it? This is almost like serendipitously creating a great environment for yourself when you realize that one simple change in one area, given to the right thing, can actually create some growth that you find beneficial. Some of you, this could be family situation, right? If family don't like what you got going on, or family don't understand what's up with you. Maybe if you were used to giving to other people and now you stopped, and now people are a little pissed off. You know, you're not just, you're not the one paying for the good times. You're not the one that people can call up to get. You're just like, no. Some of y'all probably aren't even around these people. With the Justice being here and that Seven of Swords, you know who you can trust and who you can't. Things are like balancing out. This is when the givers have to be the takers and the takers have to be the givers. This is when you give to yourself instead of giving to others. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is life-changing energy, collective, right? Those of you that have done it and realize how one simple change, once you start focusing on bettering one part of your life, how it all just kind of correlates into another. Because basically, once you get that kind of equation figured out in your life, how you work, this is why you do the shadow work. This is why you understand how you operate. You know, if you're an emotional eater, then you got to get that under control, right? You know what your trigger is. Oh my gosh, you get upset, you want to go eat a fucking chocolate cake, right? So now you're understanding. From one area, you understand how your mind operates, how it works for you, and everyone is fucking different. There's not really one plan that works. This is when you figure out on your own. And then once you conquer that aspect of it, you're like, well, okay, when I'm sad, I eat a bunch of chocolate. So, you know, don't have chocolate around, and kind of wean yourself off of that. If you're a person that emotionally likes to go shopping to fill the void, as soon as you recognize that trait, you stop doing that. And then you realize, oh shit, you have more money in the bank, right? Because you're not just buying shit to buy shit. It doesn't give you that emotional satisfaction. For some of you, you've held off on meeting people or giving love, so to speak. You're not dating. You're not giving to those situations because you realize you had to give to yourself first. You're like, all this time and energy I spent worried about loving somebody else that didn't give anything back. Look at all them cups I gave away for free. Now you're looking at your time as like billable hours. You're like, you know, I could take that time and energy and spend on myself. I ain't going to exert it to somebody that isn't going to, kind of give you something in return. If they're not going to reciprocate the love you give, the time or attention you give, you ain't fucking investing in it, right? Damn, collective, this is a beautiful fucking energy. But you'll understand, if you haven't hit this space yet, you're going to understand this eventually. Once you start doing the shadow work and you start getting in there and focusing on you, you start giving that love to yourself, and then it kind of starts creeping into other areas of your life. Once you understand how you operate, what, you know, your triggers are, if you're an emotional eater, okay, once you recognize that, then you know how to break it or figure out different ways to break that. If you're an emotional shopper, once you recognize that, then you could stop it, right? If you a gambler, right, you like to go out every now and then and gamble. Once you realize, shit, you keep losing your ass, you got to recognize that pattern of behavior in yourself. And then once you address that, then you can understand how to fix it. And there is really no one solution for everybody. This is when you recognize it and you figure out what you have to do that works for you. It's kind of like a math equation, right? You know, A plus B equals C. So you're able to work it into you. And a lot of you, when you started really paying attention who you were giving your time and energy to as far as love and affection and, you know, your free time, that's when you held back. You started realizing what exactly you expected from a person, right? If you meet a person and they're not going to be reciprocating your time and energy, or you don't feel that that energy is being reciprocated enough, you're going to stop investing emotionally into that situation. Some of y'all, you've cut back financially into different situations. You've removed yourself from people. You're balancing yourself out. And for a lot of you, it's the knowledge. And it's kind of the gift from the universe. You gain unintentionally by just pulling away, taking the knowledge that you learn. And y'all, this could be applied to any area of your life. For some of you, it's your money. For some of you, it's going to be your love language. You've cut people out for a reason, right? Now you're starting to see how positive things are. You're starting to see you have more money. You're starting to notice weight loss. You're starting to notice that, you don't hate love. It's the love or not the love. You realize that now, right? You were just given too much time, energy, and attention to people that wasn't reciprocating it. So now you're like, look at your time as billable hours, y'all. That emotional time that you spend with them. If they're not recharging you and you recharging them, it's not a positive connection. Why are you giving to it? That's like leaving the fucking lights on when they're not needed in the room, right? You're just wasting fucking money. Some of you were wasting emotional money, emotional time and energy given to people, places, and things. Once you get your shit together, y'all, everything falls together the way it needs to. But it starts with that sapling that you plant and you nurture and you grow and you're patient. You're patient. We got to stay loved because all these cups showed up, okay? So a lot of you, when you get your emotional self together, and you start getting out there to date, because a lot of you will be getting out there to date, okay? It's the love or not the love. But you just have to realize who you're going to give your time, energy, and attention to when it comes to your emotional bank, right? Your emotional love. That's beautiful, collective. That is fucking beautiful. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring-a-ling-a-ling. This energy over here, a lot of you know, don't get caught up in this. Stay happy, stay positive. This is all going to balance out, justice is like just balance coming into your situation. And you see, you're on the side of that justice card where the swords are. You're walking away with a lot of knowledge. You're the one that is going to get rewarded in the end. Okay? If anything, you learned the fucking lesson. And that's a lesson you can teach. That's a lesson you're never going to forget. That's a lesson you're going to learn. And you know what? Because you see, these people are on the side of justice where that scale is. So things are going to get balanced out one way, shape, or another. Love you. Focus on you. Give to yourself. Love yourself. A lot of you will be calling in the one. Peace, love, and light, collective. Peace, love, and light.